It's Ryan Reynolds' voice. That kind of looks like the back of Ryan Reynolds' head. I've seen it before, and it looks kind of like that. That's the whole reason that, Pikachu can talk. Welcome back to K3 TV. My name's Loki, and I'm here to do another film review for y'all. We're looking at Detective Pikachu, a real fun movie that grossed about $58 million in the box office this past weekend. Still overshadowed by the giant right now Avengers, but that says more about Avengers than it does really about Detective Pikachu. But that being said, is it really worth it? I'll let you guys know in a second, but this is going to have some spoilers in it, so definitely be warned about that. So we're looking at this movie directed by Rob Letterman, and it's also starring Ryan Reynolds, or lead. Is it Pikachu the main, or is the kid Tim the main? I can't really tell, really. I think they try to make Justice Smith the lead in this, but of course, we all knew Ryan Reynolds was going to steal the show. I think most people actually probably only went because of Ryan Reynolds, especially the type of audience that doesn't really know the source material, like non-Pikachu fans, non-Pokemon fans. I went to go see it because I knew that Ryan Reynolds would be entertaining to watch no matter what, and I am a fan of Pokemon, mainly just first generation though. So
show me shirt.
Oh, yeah. Freaking this is Pikachu. Ryan Reynolds. Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds.
So, yeah, Ryan Reynolds, basically. It's all of them. The Green Lantern. Oh, shit. We're not supposed to say that. Never mind. He was never, ever. Oh, I just realized this is another Warner Brothers movie, isn't it? Yeah. And that's Warner Brothers with Green Lantern. Oh, that must have opened up some scars for Ryan Reynolds. That's great. But this is not the Green Lantern. This is much better CGI. Speaking of, this whole movie is just one CGI fest. It's amazingly beautiful, wonderfully color graded. It was like as if you were actually really in this world. This world was very believable, even though it's really preposterous. It's really out there. They could have done a little bit more, I feel, in the sense of world building to just go that extraness, but it was still great. It felt like you took a nice little vacation during that movie into this land of Pokemon and a Pokemon sanctuary, basically, because we go to the city where you're not battling any Pokemon unless you're like in some kind of underground club, as you'll see in the movie. So it's like everyone is in yellow version of Pokemon with their own little partner, and that's how it's set up. If you don't have a Pokemon partner, you're a weirdo. It's like if you don't have Facebook, you're a weirdo or something. And this is what it is pretty much there. It's the status quo. You gotta have a Pikachu. I'd probably have a Snorlax, just to put that out there, because that's my boy. It's really fun the way that they make everyday life there revolve all around the Pokemon, and they don't push it too far, even though, like I said, I think that they could have done a little bit more to put some things out there. Things like Jigglypuff karaoke bar is really on the nose, but it is funny as hell. Like, I loved it. I got the Jigglypuff card, and I couldn't be happier because that was one of my favorite scenes, and it was like 30 seconds long, something like that. So the main basic plot behind the movie is this kid, Tim Goodman, which is no longer a kid anymore, basically tries to reconnect with his inner kid. They don't tell it to you that way, but that's basically what it is in a nutshell. He's trying to go back to find closure with who he wanted to be and who he has become, which is obviously disconnected. You see it from the very start of the movie with his friend pretty much trying to get him to get a Marowak or any type of Pokemon, and establishing with exposition that this is a really lonely kid, and he really develops in a very typical arc to where he's having fun with these Pokemon once an actual catalyst, which is his dad dying, quote unquote, under suspicious circumstances, and he goes and basically takes the place of his father. And you can tell right away he's taking the place of his father. His father was a detective. He's trying to go on a case. So you can kind of see where that's going to go. But it's still a really fun journey seeing how he basically gets in tune with where he's always wanted to be, which is, the very best that there ever was. I was really surprised with one thing about the movie. Mewtwo was super powerful, super cool, but by the way that the trailers were and by the way that fans were kind of seeing Mewtwo, his place in the film is what I'm trying to say, was really out there. You see him right away, like in the first 10 minutes of the movie, which was necessary for the way that they had the story going, but it was a little bit underwhelming at the same time. Mewtwo really steals the show as, the most powerful Pokemon that there is around right now, because obviously little baby Mew ain't around. He's an ancient relic. So that kind of fan service is really good for any kind of Pokemon fan that's really into the real lore and didn't just play the games. But at the same time, this exposition that they do, it's subtle enough so that most people that are not fans would have truly enjoyed it. And I know it because, I talked to some people that didn't really like Pokemon, but they went to go see it because, oh, Ryan Reynolds, oh no, yes, our God and Savior, funny guy. And they loved it. I mean, I've talked to people who went to go see it with their kids, and they didn't really give a crap about Pikachu or Pokemon, and still funny. But all that being said, with all the fun that you can have, even with the people that are fun or have had fun with all the other generations, all the nostalgia, all the heartstrings being pulled with all the really captivating moments with father figure type of emotion, finding friendship in random places, all that lovey-dovey stuff. It's still really just a little kid adventure kind of a movie. The only reason that it's really, really funny is because of Ryan Reynolds, and I think that's kind of common amongst most reviews. He just steals the show. They were really smart to put him in here, even if he is pretty much out there because of Deadpool and all that right now. It was a smart move. It probably would not have done even a fraction, probably a fourth of as good as it did. So it's really good, and I'd probably watch it again just because it was really fun, and it wasn't very exhausting. Very simple. You don't have to think too much during it. It's just a nice little adventure. So it was great to me. I mean, Pikachu was cute as hell, and getting to hear him when he was actually talking as Pikachu was great. So it's established in this movie pretty early on that Pokemon can't actually talk. So they're not all like Meowths or anything like that. Like if you ever watch the anime, like they can't teach themselves to talk. They can't talk. But yet Pikachu, or this Detective Pikachu, which belonged to Tim's father, he can talk. And the reason isn't explained right away. And that's kind of like one of the actually pretty smart ways that they do foreshadow who the Pikachu actually is and why he can talk. That's actually pretty smart, the way that they do that. I really don't want to spoil it, and this is a spoiler review. Ryan Reynolds is Tim's father. I'm just getting it out there. I don't know why, but I hate spoiling these movies. We're doing spoiler reviews, but it was really beautifully done the way that they did it. Like it was like you could see it coming, but it didn't matter because it was satisfying enough. It was like, you never showed the dad's face. I saw that. You didn't show the dad's face. It's Ryan Reynolds' voice. That kind of looks like the back of Ryan Reynolds' head. I've seen it before, and it looks kind of like that. But it was really good. That's the whole reason that Pikachu can talk, and he can't actually talk. It's just they're fused together. And by the time at the end of the movie, when you see the big climax of what the plan actually was, that the old man Johnson over here, freaking Giovanni character, wanted to meld everyone together so that Pokemon and human could coexist as one, but not just like in the same environment, in the same body. And that was just because of his own illness. That was great, and it had already happened with Pikachu before that. So you can kind of tell, if you don't see it like a minute before, you're probably a child. So just to put that out there. One of the weird things that does happen when Mewtwo does the nuke and undoes what has already been done, which was fuse everyone together, it was a little strange that he didn't undo the Pikachu and Father Goodman's link together. He didn't undo them, and I thought that was a little bit too suspicious. I was like, it's just like a little movie thing, you gotta suspend, your disbelief in a way. I was like, come on, he would have undone them too, right? But there's just small little things there that kind of bug. But besides that, it was just so well done. You don't miss a mark. The pacing was great. It didn't really get stagnant. It didn't have any dry parts where you were just waiting for the next thing to happen. It was pretty smooth sailing. You just wanted to see more Pokemon, maybe. I mean, I know I did, because that's the only reason I went to go see it. I wanted to see some live action Pokemon. I wanted to see a Volt Tackle, and I saw a Volt Tackle. I've always wanted to see a Magikarp turn into a Gyarados. I saw a Magikarp turn into a Gyarados. It was sick. It was all fan service, but it was great. I signed up for that, and I got it. So if you ask me what grade I would give Detective Pikachu, it's kind of tough. I want to give it a nostalgia grade, an emotional grade, and probably a film grade. But I'm just going to mix both of those and tell you that the average for it being a good movie, a good film, and it being really entertaining as just raw entertainment and fan service, C-, C+.
Why?
Let's go with a C.
Why?
And the reason that I'd go with a C is because it's predictable. It could have pushed so much further into this realm that they created. Maybe they're saving that for further projects, but it does look like a lot of money was spent on it, but maybe not a lot of thought was spent on the actual story itself. It's basic. They just pulled it out of a how to make a heartfelt movie book and just put the characters in there. It really feels like that. So it could have gotten a better grade if it was just a little bit more creative and not so predictable. But it was still beautiful. Just got to put that out there. So good, crunchy C. All right, that just about wraps it up. Thank you so much for watching K3 TV. My name's Loki. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys liked or did not like about this movie or this review. Next week, we should be going ahead and doing John Wick. Gonna go ahead and do some battle rolls up into next week, so I'll catch you guys there. You guys have a good one. And if you enjoy our videos, please support us on patreon.com so we can make an X-Men edition of Prison Fans. Thank you.